Okay, so this is the Heath QU to SQ configuration. Sorry I don't have a nice camera setup, but let's get to it. So this is specifically for input routing. We'll go over output routing later, if I can figure that out. So monitor, just make sure that that is set 1-to-1, so the channel input would go to the same monitor output. And then also make sure that the global direct out settings, focus. Why can't cameras focus when they're in video mode? Anyways, this needs to be post preamp. Don't follow the fader and don't follow mute. Otherwise, what will happen is if the fader is down and the channel is muted, then you won't have signal on the SQ, which is what happened to me, and it took me a few moments to figure that out, but I knew it had something to do with the direct out settings. Then over on the SQ, the first thing is under setup. So setup, and then audio, and then audio sync. Select sLink, and then the that's different, and then apply, and then it should come up with a check mark. If it doesn't, then it's got the wrong source or something's messed up. So it'll apply, and then it'll check, and then it'll go green. Then the next thing is to okay, I can like digitally zoom while I'm in the video. I'm sorry, I'm not a video guy. Well, I'm very good at Steadicam if I am given a nice camera that's already set up for me. Anyways, it's beside the point. So sLink. You want to go, so these are the input sockets or channels, processing channels, like the physical inside the board it can communicate. And then these are the routes into the board from the sLink over here, D-Link, is it S? Yeah, dSnake and sLink. Ugh, confusing. Anyway, so input 1 would be 21, which would be where over on this side, for you motion sickness people, I'm sorry, where the monitor would start, because the monitor over here, the dSnake outputs really start at 21 for the channels, because the first 20 are filled up with whatever you can put in here, which is mixes and left right pre and all this other stuff, and that's generally stuff that we don't really care about, right? We want the channels directly routed over there. So anyways, so this is not 1, this is really 21 and 22 and 23 and 24 and so on and so forth. Outputs over to here. So then you go down here and you're like, oh, I'm on 12, I'm at 32 inputs, how do I get to the others? Well, tap the sLink button, and that takes you to the next page where you get 33, yeah, 32, so 33 through 64. And then we go down, we just patch 13 all the way up to, I did up to 40, but you could do all the way up to 60 for all 40 channels that the QU could grab. And then once that's done, you can go to the channel, and you'll have, it'll say sLink socket, and then it'll say which number it is. So 36 minus 20 is really 16. I patched in two XLRs, one's left and one's right of my computer, and so that's 1 and 16. I was just kind of for the QU pack, which I know UW have. So then 1 and 16 here, so it's a 1-to-1 patch. So if I unplug or plug in, go somewhere else, they'll both be there. And then right now I have left and right routed just analog output into my reference monitors. So, yeah, that's the input channels. One thing that you could note, or I did note kind of deal, was, so I just changed this just to prove that there's also audio on the next one. So 15, but it's going to be really low. There we go. But it is 1-to-1, so that's kind of nice. So you might have to gain it up some. Running my computer output pretty low, so simulates mic. So anyways, you can see the signal there. At first it did come in really quiet on the little light there is like barely blue, and I was like, is it working? And then I double checked everything, gained up the channels over there, and it was all good. I hope this was informative and helpful. I will figure out the outputs and do that in a second or a minute. Wow, this is a long video. I'm sorry to bore everyone. Okay, bye.